The wind howled as shadows danced across the deserted parking lot, the chrome of the motorcycle gleaming under the fading afternoon sun. Jake, a seasoned biker with tattoos marking his skin like stories etched in time, found solitude within the vibration and roar of his Harley. The hum of an engine was not just a sound, it was the heartbeat of freedom, the melody of the open road. But today, fate had different plans. He parked outside a small diner, a place that clung to an era-long gun. Inside, the clattering of dishes mingled with muffled conversations. But the atmosphere felt heavy thick with unspoken tension. As he ambled towards the entrance, he noticed a man seated in a corner booth, his crisp suit stark against the cracked leather upholstery. Across from him sat a young girl, perhaps 6, her shimmering pink dress a contrast to the dim, Gracie surroundings. For a moment, it was as if time stopped, the scene frozen in place by a whisper of intuition that clawed at Jake's instincts like the chill of a coming storm. There was a tension in the air that felt palpable. Jake pushed through the door, the bell above jingling with a tone that felt wrong. He took his usual seat at the counter, but his gaze remained glued to the booth behind him, drawn to the icy detachment of the man and the unfamiliar vulnerability of the child. The man's voice, a low growl laced with impatience, broke the spell. "Finish your fries, Lily. We need to leave soon." Jake's heart raced as he absorbed the scene. The girl, however, did not stir. She simply pushed her fries around her plate, her small hands trembling. A thin pile of crumpled bills sat in front of her, an offering that spoke of desperation. With a slight frown, he leaned closer, listening intently. "I'm not hungry, Mr. Silas," she replied softly, her voice almost lost in the diner's noise. "Mr. Silas." The name sent a shiver down Jake's spine. His instincts, honed over years, made it clear this man wasn't just her guardian. He was something much darker, a handler. As Jake sipped his black coffee, he seized the girl's reflection in the window. Tears threatened to spill from her large, innocent eyes, pooling in the corners like an unspoken plea. In that moment Jake's resolve crystallized. He couldn't turn away. Not this time. Suddenly, Silas stood up, muttering a quick command that sent the girl's shoulders slumping in defeat. "Don't move, and don't talk to anyone. You understand?" With a wave of his hand, he spun on his heel, heading towards the restroom. The moment he was gone, the air shifted. Jake leaned back, his heart racing. This was at the turning point. In a moment of courage that could only be described as divine intervention, the girl slid out of her booth. With her prized pile of dollars clutched in one hand and a worn teddy bear in the other, she hesitantly approached Jake's table. "It's $23, she squeaked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I saved Italiano. It's to buy mommy back." Her words hit like a hammer, resonating deep within Jake's chest. Every fiber of his being screamed that this was not just a child's innocent wish, but a desperate plea. In the split second that followed, Jake made a choice. Leaning in, he softened the rough edges of his voice. "Keep your money, kid. You're going to need it for ice cream." As he nodded, Jake could see a flicker of hope in her eyes. But who's 10, the restroom door creaked open. Silas was back, and fury ignited within him as he spotted Lily at Jake's table. "What are you doing?" he hissed, the grip on the girl's shoulder tightening menacingly. Fear coursed through Lily's body, but Jake was already rising, his imposing figure casting a long shadow over the situation. "The kid was admiring my bike," Jake said, his voice steady like thunder before a storm. A silence fell between them, thick and tense, a contest of will. For a fleeting moment, everything hung in the balance. "She's not supposed to talk to strangers," Silas spat, but the pulse of his confidence was fading. Jake caught Lily's eye, hoping to transmit courage through his steady gaze. "Stay with him. I'll be right behind you," he whispered, risking a small nod. It was a silent pact of trust between them. As Silas dragged her towards the door, Jake's heart pounded in his chest, the enormity of the situation gripping him. He slid his phone from his pocket. There was no time to waste. "Hold on just a moment. Take a breath before we go on." This biker didn't hesitate for even 1 second, And that same beautiful spirit is what keeps me creating these stories every single day, with endless love and hope. YouTube hasn't monetized my channel yet, so I need your help to continue this wonderful work. Please make a voluntary donation, any amount that your heart feels right, whether $1, $2, or whatever you feel in your heart. The donation link is in the description, the first pinned comment, the channel bio, or point your camera to the QR code on the screen and make your donation from the heart. Thank you in advance for your love. Stay tuned for what happens next as this unexpected bond unfolds. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Road Motorcycle Diaries for stories that remind us about the power of courage in unexpected moments. The dust kicked up as Silas threw the diner door open, dragging Lily away from safety. Jake's instincts roared to life. He was not just a bystander, but a participant in a battle of good versus evil. He watched them disappear down the road, the gray sedan becoming a distant speck on the horizon. He needed to act fast. With his motorcycle roaring to life, Jake felt the familiar rush of adrenaline. He was not just a biker today, he was a protector. As he followed the sedan down the winding road, his mind raced with questions. Where were they headed? What exactly was Silas planning? The weight of the child's plea hung heavy in his heart. The road twisted like a serpent, leading into desolation. Peeling paint on mailboxes, weeds choking forgotten fields. This was a world where people vanished, leaving nothing but echoes behind. Jillions of thoughts clamored for attention, but determination focused him. This girl needed him. Like a shadow on the hunt, Jake maintained his distance, perfecting the art of stealth. His phone buzzed in his pocket press. His brother was checking in. "Where you at?" Press asked, his voice laced with cautious concern. "I'm tailing a gray sedan. Think there's a kidnapping situation. I need backup, but not yet." Jake breathed heavily. He could afford to wait. For now, as the sedan turned onto a rutted dirt driveway, Jake's heart raced. Deep in the forest stood an aging farmhouse, lonely and sinister. He killed his engine, creeping closer through the trees, his instincts on high alert. The wooden structure looked like it held 1,000 secrets, and the vibes felt eerily wrong. The silence was deafening as he peered through a grimy window. Inside, the scene sent chills racing down his spine. A woman grasped in ropes, eyes filled with terror, a reminder that time was slipping away. His heart sank as he realized it was Lily's mother, bound in a corner. The girl huddled close, clutching her bear as if it were a lifeline. Frustration boiled over as he took in the scene. The argument escalating, one man's hand raised, threatening. Jake felt the explosive charge of righteous fury ignite his body. It was time to act. Without hesitation, Jake slammed against the back door. Wood splintering beneath the force of his weight, the frame gave way with a deafening crash. Everything fell silent, frozen in time. A tableau of shock. The two men spun around, shock mingling with fury. Silas clenched his jaw, ready to fall back. But he was met with Jake's sudden rush fury and resolve melding into one. The short-lived silence busted as chaos erupted. The man lunged for a gun, a spark ignited within Jake. "Don't even think about it," he shouted as he lunged, palms swatting the gun out of reach. The man roared, swinging a clumsy fist, but Jake dodged effortlessly, stepping under the blow. Then the brawl unfolded, a whirlwind of fists and adrenaline. "You shouldn't have messed with her," Jake growled, his voice low and dangerous as he took down the man with one precise strike. Silas backed away, a mask of disbelief and fear crossing his face. Celebrities of the Snakes openly contrasting with a strike that echoed like a thunderclap. Silas crumpled to the floor. Amid the chaos, he turned toward the mother. Her eyes widened with a mix of terror and hope. "I'm here to help," he rasped, kneeling before her, working swiftly to free her hands. She stared, confused, yet the instinctual fear dissipated as she felt security wash over her. "Mommy!" A small voice erupted from the corner. In that moment, the world narrowed down to one fierce bong. Lily raced into her mother's arms. The two embraced in pure, unadulterated joy, tears streaming down their faces. Jake stepped back, giving them space, feeling a swell of emotions. This moment, it wasn't just another day filled with violence and danger. Tease was low bravery, and a lifeline thrown in the darkest hour. But the distant sound of sirens began to pierce the air, reminding him that the danger wasn't past yet. He remained vigilant, making sure they were safe. "We need to get you two out of here," he said, rushing towards the door. Hit that subscribe button if you believe in heroes who don't wear capes. Every moment counts. So stay tuned for the final part of this incredible rescue. Outside, the world colored itself in a palette of flashing lights and shouts as the police flooded the farmhouse. Press arrived, his stern demeanor softening at the sight of Jake, the mother, and especially Lily. The wheels of justice were in motion. The moment felt surreal, a blend of relief and triumph. The aftermath was a collective exhale. Police cuffed Silas and his accomplice. Nurses checked over the three, providing care to bruised spirits, more than but as they spoke over helplines. Broken pieces of Sarah's story poured out, echoes of trauma and resilience intertwined. Jake found himself on the periphery, processing everything while surrounded by questions and grateful faces. Sarah longed to thank her savior, but words felt inadequate, caught in the whirlwind of her emotions. "You saved my life," she whispered, tears shimmering in her eyes as Lily nestled close. "Not just yours," Jake replied, his voice thick with humility. "She saved you, too." He placed a hand gently on Lily's head, their bond crystallizing in that embrace, forever changing all their lives. Over the weeks that followed, Jake found himself drawn back to the bittersweet memories of the moment they embraced, the love and vulnerability pouring from the girl's tiny frame. As Sarah settled into a bakery business, a fresh start tinged with warmth, Jake became an unexpected figure in their lives. He attended Lily's birthday parties and school plays, brimming both with laughter and tears. Firm friendships blooming, unexpectedly breaking through the grit and bravado of their worlds. They laughed over cookies and cakes, while he shared wild tales of the road. He became Uncle Jake, a guardian angel draped in leather, embodying the idea that kindness shines brighter against a backdrop of despair. Years flowed on. One brisk afternoon, amid cheers and applause, Lily stood before her classmates as the valedictorian, eyes sparkling with passion. Courage isn't about not being afraid. It's about doing what's right, no matter how small you feel, she proclaimed confidently. Each word resonated, and Jake's heart surged with pride. In the audience, Jake's eyes glimmered with unshed tears, a tribute to the unexpected family he found along a path illuminated by an innocent girl's bravery. "Together, we changed everything that day," he reflected, moments later. In her eyes was a lifetime of possibilities unleashed, and he would never forget the small threads tying them together. That night, the three of them gathered around a small table in a bright restaurant, laughter ringing through the air as the past merged with their shared present. "To family," Sarah said, raising her glass with joyous tears in her eyes. "To love," Lily chimed in, her spirit indomitable. Jake, overwhelmed, lifted his glass to, voice trembling with emotion, "To family." Next to him lay the reminder of their journey, a worn wooden bird, his gift of courage to Lily, tucked securely in her hand. As they spoke of dreams and aspirations, words became bridges, connecting their hearts. The cardboard box tucked away in Jake's closet held crumpled bills, the tangible remnants of a transaction that changed everything, creating a family from a single gesture of kindness. Weeks turned into months, and the world outside the bakery windows transformed with the changing seasons. Sarah's establishment blossomed into a vibrant hub of warmth, aroma, and life. With each batch of fresh bread and pastries, she poured not just ingredients into the dough, but her heart stirring in the kindness and resilience she had learned through her ordeal. Jake often visited, drawn by the sweet fragrance of baked goods and the laughter of children that filled the air. Each time he arrived, he was greeted with the same warmth. Lily would race to him, her eyes shining like stars. "Uncle Jake," she would call, wrapping her small arms around his waist. In those moments, Jake felt as if he had discovered a version of himself he never knew. Existida, protector, a friend, a part of something greater. Lily was growing up, and each passing day was a new adventure, filled with laughter and joy. The more she learned about the world, the deeper her bond with Jake became. They shared stories in the bakery, where she would regale him with tales of schoolyard shenanigans and imaginary worlds, her creativity igniting like a bonfire. Jake listened intently, his heart swelling with pride as she expressed herself with a passion that radiated from her spirit. One rainy afternoon, while the gentle patter of water painted the windows in a rhythm of nature, the bakery was unusually quiet. Jake and Lily were seated at a small table, surrounded by the comforting scent of cinnamon and sugar. Sarah was busy in the kitchen, her laughter wafting through the doorway. "Uncle Jake," Lily began, twirling a strand of hair around her finger, "can I tell you something important?" The seriousness in her tone piqued his interest. "Of course, sweetheart," Jake urged, leaning in closer. "I want to help people, just like you did for Mommy," she declared earnestly, her eyes wide with determination. "I want to be strong and brave." The sincerity in her voice took Jake by surprise, a wave of emotion crashing over him. It reminded him of their first encounter, how her courage had sparked a profound change not only in her life, but in his as well. "Helping people takes real courage, Lily," he replied, sensing the importance of this moment. "But you already have that inside you. It's what got you through everything." He watched as she smiled, her cheeks flushing with pride. "Can we start something together? Like a kindness club," she exclaimed, her enthusiasm shining brightly. "We can help people in our town." The idea struck a chord with Jake. Encouraging her to take action would help her understand the strength of compassion, something that had changed his own life trajectory. "I love that idea. How about we do just that? We can plan to help out wherever we can, maybe at the community center or visiting the elderly." The sparkle in her eyes grew brighter. "Yes, we could bake cookies for the seniors. They would love that, right?" As plans began to form, excitement filled the air around them. They decided that the first project would be to bake trays of cookies to deliver to the local nursing home. Sarah, upon hearing their ambitious plan, immediately joined in. "I can teach you both some of my best recipes. We can make it an event." The idea blossomed like the flowers that began to bloom outside, vibrant and hopeful. Soon, the bakery became a buzzing hive of preparation for their mission. Lily decorated brightly colored posters announcing their Cookie Kindness Day, while Jake assisted Sarah in gathering sugar, chocolate chips, and sprinkles. The day arrived with the sun bright and cheerful, illuminating their small town like a beacon of hope. With bags of freshly baked cookies piled high in boxers, the trio loaded up Jake's motorcycle, laughter bubbling like the sweet scents around them. They arrived at the nursing home, where the welcoming smiles of residents awaited them. As they stepped inside, Jake felt a familiar knot in his stomach, the echo of a past he couldn't shake off. But this time, he was armed with purpose and a heart full of hope. They wheeled a cart laden with treats down the hallway, the air filled with warmth and laughter. "Who's ready for some delicious cookies?" Jake called, his booming voice bringing smiles to the residents' faces. Lily scampered around, handing out cookies with the grace of an angel, her giggles mingling with the delighted reactions of the elderly. "Yum, these are the best," one lady exclaimed, her eyes lighting up. Jake watched as the warmth of their efforts spread throughout the room, illuminating faces that were often shadowed by loneliness. He realized the truth: this was what it meant to be a part of something. The vulnerability he once carried was now overshadowed by a fire ignited in camaraderie, courage, and love. As the day unfolded, stories were shared, laughter erupted, and connections knitted together like the finest sewing. Jake helped serve the cookies, but he also became a listener, welcoming stories from the seniors who recounted their youth, dreams, and regrets with sincerity. One by one, residents opened up about the joys of their lives, their fondest memories painted with nostalgia. Jake found himself engaged in conversations that were both heartfelt and enlightening, teaching him more than he could ever have imparted himself. For Lily, it was a day of wonder, a day that taught her the power of kindness and the understanding that everyone has a story worth sharing. By the time they left the nursing home, her heart swelled with the knowledge they had made a difference, however small, in the lives of those who needed it most. As they rode back home, the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting warm hues across the sky. Lily's giggles floated behind him like music, and Jake felt a renewed sense of purpose swelling deep within his soul. He had a family now, not just in Sarah and Lily, but also in the ripples they created through acts of love. Over time, the Kindness Club expanded its reach, and the community felt the positive ripple effects of their efforts. Jake, Sarah, and Lily became local heroes, inspiring others to join in and foster goodwill among neighbors. They organized bake sales to benefit charities, litter cleanups in the local parks, and even weekend visits to spend quality time with the elderly. In the heart of it all was a simple yet profound lesson: kindness could heal wounds and connect souls. As the years passed, Jake learned that he had become a father figure, a mentor, and a devoted friend, molding a brighter future for Lily and the community. And just like that, an unexpected bond transformed a single moment of courage into a legacy that continued to grow. We must never forget that our actions, no matter how small, hold immense potential. They ripple through the lives of others, shaping not only our destinies but the futures of those we touch. Jake told Lily one sunny afternoon as they took a break in the bakery, sipping chocolate milkshakes. Lily, now a teenager, nodded thoughtfully, her spirit unchanged though her dreams grew high. "And to think it all started with those $23, she responded, smiling as she recounted the events that put them on this path. Jake smiled back, his heart full of memories, a promise for the future, and an understanding that they would always be in this together. The bond that began with an act of bravery now extended beyond him. Together, they would continue to make the world a little kinder, one act at a time. Join us on our journey of kindness and inspiration. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Your stories matter. Let's pause and breathe as this emotional journey ends. This biker's humble act of kindness reminds us that goodness still lights the way, inspiring me to pour my soul into every single video. With monetization not active on YouTube yet, your support means the world. Please donate whatever your heart whispers in: dollars, $1, $3, $5, or any sum that feels true. Links are in the description. First pinned comment, bio, and QR code appearing now. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for believing in these stories. See you soon for more real moments of connection. Much love. Like and comment below, shouted Jake, grinning. What would you do if you were in this situation? Each action, no matter how small, carries the potential for change. With every like, we inspire courage in others who may one day need a hero. Subscribe to Road Motorcycle Diaries for more inspiring journeys and stories that restore faith in humanity's capacity for kindness. The road ahead shimmered with promise, a testament that heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they ride motorcycles, and sometimes they are those who give a little girl a chance to believe in hope. Would you take a stand to join the journey ahead as we uncover stories that remind us we hold the power within us to change lives?